Hey guys, what is going on? My name's Tyler McNabb, and this is my YFZ 450R. So as you probably saw in the last couple videos, I put up my Ironman race and some highlights. And so overall, the race went good and all that, didn't have any issues until I got home and I found a little bitty issue that probably could have cost us pretty big had I not noticed it. So if you're not aware, one of the issues with these things has to do with the breather vent on the head. And so if you follow me on TikTok, you would have seen the issue. But this little breather vent right here, this is exactly how I found it from Ironman. It was still in the head, but all I did was grab it like this, and it popped right out. So if you're not aware, that is not supposed to happen. That is not supposed to come out of the head. So I got very lucky. It did not pop out. They are known for popping out. And when that happens, you know, it can just start spewing oil all over the place, because now instead of having a little bit of a breather there, that the oil may go somewhere else, or if there is oil, you know, most of the time there's not oil going through there, but there's a potential for oil to start coming out. So that's not good. Luckily, it was all good, still in there, didn't come out. And so we're good on that end. But what we're going to do today is we are going to fix that. And luckily, BNR Motorsports out of Ohio, if you're not aware, they do a lot of stuff with the YFZs. They make an upgrade kit with actually, it has a threaded fitting, and they even sell the kit with the tap. It's like $30, all it costs, and it comes with all this. And then they recommend you put some sort of epoxy on it, and you may be thinking, well, why'd you get JB Weld? Well, JB Weld isn't bad for everything, believe it or not. And so this is JB Weld brand epoxy, and this is like some good heavy duty stuff recommended for automotive. It's steel reinforced epoxy. It's got a strength of 5,020 psi, and it it withstands up to 550 degrees Fahrenheit. And so that's what I was looking. I wanted to make sure I got a real high temp epoxy. So 550 degrees Fahrenheit should be plenty for the top of the head. And so all I'm going to do there is, I'm not going to like put it on the threads, but I'm just going to seal a little bit around the top. That's what they recommend doing, so that way it doesn't seep oil over time. So all that we're going to do today real quick, hopefully, is we're going to pop this valve cover off, which should go pretty quick, because I just got to get this off, take the spark plug boot off, and then just these two valve cover bolts, and we should have that off really quick. We will get it tapped, fixed, and ready to go. So let's jump right into it. Okay guys, well, we got it done. Relatively easy, not too hard. So went ahead, got it tapped. Yes, I know some of you were probably cringing watching me tap it since I was just doing it on the bench with a crescent wrench, but I don't have an actual tap set and the actual tap handle to do it with, so that's how I did it. This isn't a huge deal. It's not something that's going to be threading in and out a bunch of times, hopefully just this one time. So it went in, it's all good. Got the epoxy on and spread evenly. Didn't want to put too much of it on there, just enough to basically get a good seal around that fitting. So got that installed, got the valve cover back on, all that fun stuff, and we should be good to go. So relatively short video in terms of that, but I think what I'm going to do to extend a little bit of time on this video is we got to do a little bit of maintenance on the old TRX 450 as well. So Dad actually already started on it a little bit. We got the axle nut loosened because that was a real pain in the butt. That thing did not want to move. So we got that loosened, but this thing needs carrier bearings. The carrier bearings are shot in it. So I got some new carrier bearings, thanks to Rissler's Extreme ATV. Had a set in stock, waiting on me, so that's good to go. So some Pivot Works bearings. I've actually done this before, so I'm not going to do like a how-to or anything, but just maybe time-lapse going through replacing them real quick. And then hopefully this thing will be ready to go as well, and hopefully me and Dad will get some good riding in this weekend. So I'm going to jump into it real quick and just time-lapse getting the carrier bearings replaced. So let's do it. Okay guys, I'm back. It's been a little bit of a break in the action because it's actually 5 days later from the film you were just watching, because we had some serious issues going on with this thing, just trying to get it apart. And so as you can see, it's apart now. Here's the OEM the OEM carrier chilling over here. And if we walk over here to the bench, we see the axle, it's right here. And then I've also got the axle nut, the axle hub, all nice and cleaned up, as well as the axle or the brake stay. Got that cleaned up as well. So threw those in the old vapor blaster to clean these up. These are aluminum, so I was able to vapor blast those. This is the axle nut. It is steel. And so you really shouldn't vapor blast steel just because you're basically you're getting it all wet and then you're installing it, and so you're just asking for it to rust. And so what I did though is I took this axle nut off and I wire brushed everything, cleaned up all the threads and whatnot. So we got that there. But basically, anyway, I'll throw a picture up right here showing what we had this quad doing. As you can see, it's sitting on its side because we could not for the life of us get the brake rotor hub off. It would not move in the slightest. And so it took us a while just to get the axle nut off. So we got the axle nut off. We could tell the splines were good and rusted on. And so we didn't know what we were going to have to do. And so we ended up putting it up on its side, let it soak in PB Blaster for like basically a day and a half. And eventually, I think between that and then just brute force of just beating on the sprocket hub, we eventually got it off. And so it was not easy at all. Like I said, it's like 5 days later. And so we did that. And then in the process, we didn't really damage the carrier, but I did chip a little bit, as you can probably see here. I chipped a little bit of it off in the process. And plus, between that and just aftermarket carriers being better, we went ahead and ordered a Lone Star. So we've got our handy dandy adjustment tool and a Lone Star billet carrier, and it's already got bearings in it, so I don't even have to mess with replacing them. And these are the dual row bearings too, so they're wider, so that's good. And then it's just so much more easy to adjust than an OEM carrier. So we got this. We're just going to slide it in real quick. And yeah, we should be good. So yeah, I'm going to finish this out with a time lapse, get this thing buttoned up and ready for the weekend. So let's jump right into the time lapse. Okay guys, well, got this thing all back together. We are good to go here. Dad took it for a quick test ride to make sure everything was good. We were having a little bit of trouble with the rear brakes. They weren't wanting to grab, so I bled them a little bit and some air came out, but then they still weren't grabbing the best, so I bled them a lot more. Still weren't grabbing the best, so I just had him go out and just ride, and eventually they came back. So I don't know if I maybe got something on the pads or the rotor that was causing them to slip a little bit, but now they are good to go. So only thing left to do is I do need to check the axle nut to see if that loosened up any, make sure that's good and tight. But other than that, this thing is ready to go. So hopefully you enjoyed this quick video. Well, I don't know how quick it was, but this video of just doing some stuff on the 450. So we started out, got that fitting on top of the head of the YFZ, so that is good to go now. I wrote it. You actually saw the riding video before this video, but I wrote it. That's all good. No oil spewing out. The fitting's still good. And then we got Dad's 450 all good to go with the new carrier bearings and all that. So 450s are all buttoned up and good. We got the 400 chilling over in the other side. It's all cleaned up And so, yeah, I'm basically, this video is probably going to be after the IXCR videos, but I was just getting everything ready for the IXCR this weekend. So we're going to hit up the final round of IXCR because it's not too far from here, and that'll be the final race of the year. So that'll be the final race video, and then hopefully I'll get some good footage this winter coming up, just working on quads, do some building on the old YFZ, and maybe do some upgrades on Dad's quad if he's wanting to do that. And then we may freshen up the 400 a little bit as well, just to do some other stuff. So hopefully you guys are enjoying the content. Trying my best to pump out some good videos, not just pump out a ton of videos. Trying to stick to my once a week, and hopefully you guys are enjoying it. So I appreciate you guys coming back, watching, subscribing. Hopefully by the time this video airs, I've hit 1,000 subscribers. I'm oh so close. I'm 11 away at this point. So hopefully we'll get there here shortly. So I thank you guys for coming and watching. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.